All right, folks, I'm really quickly going to talk through these last pieces of requirements so it's all in one place. Okay, so we've already gone through the process of installing Python, pip, and Jupyter, and we have confirmed that they're there using our git command and calling Python, pip, and Jupyter and their path. For Python, you should also probably make sure that you've got the version information here. Okay, I might actually require that. And then you're going to go ahead and launch your Jupyter Lab. So you're going to just type Jupyter Lab into the PowerShell, and it's going to launch it. You'll see some script happening here. This is connecting to the machine, and then it will launch you into a hosted instance on your browser, whatever your default is. Your mine is Google, so we're looking at a Chrome browser. Okay. From here, you have a number of options. I am going to click on the notebook option because I like the notebooks, and this is how your lab will be structured. So I'm going to develop your scavenger hunt as a Python notebook, and so you have the option of loading it here or loading it in Colab in Google. Totally your choice. I'm writing it here in Jupyter. All right, so you're going to start just by getting a little bit familiar with what this looks like. Okay, I have markdown raw or code blocks here. Code block execute things. Markdown is code comments, and raw is like text, basically just string information. Okay, I can click here and add as many cells as I want. And then in this, I could do that same thing where I can define variables, and then I can print them. And it'll give me that information. Okay. So I'm not going to go any deeper right now into Jupyter, but that's just, this is what it looks like. I can save things here. I can save this file as my lab demo. Okay. If I click on this, it'll give me some information on where I could save it to or as. Okay, I can do some copying. If I just kind of look around, I want you to spend some time looking through Jupyter Notebooks. Okay, the kernel here is Python 3. So like just, keep this in mind. Okay, so each time that we come and connect, we need to start a new runtime, right? And you'll see that your folders or your files are being saved here. All right. So I saved it as, and it added a new one. I still have this untitled one. So if I wanted to come in here and rename this notebook, I could as demo 1. And now I no longer have an untitled one. Okay. If I wanted to find out where I was actually on my computer, I can, it's pretty simple. I'm in my home directory here because that's where I installed it. But if I were to go ahead and go and find this on my PC, I can go to the main drive, users, and Hillary, and I come down here and I will see that actually it's right here. Now you can choose any default directory you want. This is just happens to be where mine is saving for the purposes of this today. Okay. So the next piece that I want to call out is Colab. So Colab, colab.research.google.com is where 3 of your readings are going to be hosted this week. They are interactive readings. They introduce you a little bit to the collaboratory environment. So where this Jupyter notebook lives here on my local machine, nobody else can see it. It's just here. So you want to develop, you want to code, you want to be in this space, do you all day long. I'm going to send you a file that I developed in here. It's right here. I'm not going to show it because, it'll give away all the lab questions, but it's here. And you'll have a number of blocks that are executable that you can interact with, and will give you clues for your initial process, if you will, when you begin your scavenger hunt. Okay. So the benefit to Colab is that it's shareable, whereas Jupyter Lab, again, lives on my local machine. Colab, I can share with anybody, anywhere I want, okay? I have hosted these readings all on our GitHub repo for this class. So reading 1 provides an overview of collaboratory features and kind of walks you through some of this to understand the code versus text blocks. Again, very similar over here to Jupyter Notebook, where I can add code versus markdown, versus raw. Here, my options are really just code and text blocks, okay? So it's, again, just the way in which people from a graphical interface interact with your programs. And one thing to call out is that actually Colab is a really great example of an integrated environment where I have both a graphical user interface and a command line prompt shell. So I can do both things in one place, which is why it's really cool. I can also save and share with anyone. Okay, so your 3 readings are linked. You can find them from our class GitHub again, which I will bring us to really quickly. All right. I'll load it up here. Okay. So that is where we are. If I click on this first reading right here, you will see a reproduction of the reading itself. Okay. This is a view of it. I've sent it from Colab to GitHub. It's published it with a comment here. You'll see my comment is just that this is the prerequisite reading for week 5 lab. Okay. And I did this a little bit of an hour ago. I've got an ID tag to my comment. And then this is here. I can look at it in the code view if I was interested in. This is what it looks like from a style set perspective. So there's, number of pieces here. I could also look at it through this view. All right. So if ever you are interested in how some of these style sets and this code works, you are welcome to, copy little snippets here and there. Okay. So I'm going to go back to the preview. I'll notice this little button right here. It, changes my pointer. I'm going to click on it. And it's going to open this reading in Colab for me directly. Okay, you're going to go through these readings. There's 3 of them. And you'll notice that we have a lot of elements here. We have some traditional elements of an application where I can, I've got my different functions here. I've got a sidebar here that shows me a table of contents. I can find and replace like a text program. I can add some variables and inspect them. And then I can also configure and store environmental variables here, as well as identify where this is saved. Okay. I'm going to go back to the table of contents. And so you'll see here that I've got some text blocks. It's giving me some information, which is how do I run things. Okay. I've already connected. And then I'll come down here and I've got this block. You'll see it's, radio, or there's a play button. If I click play, it does this same thing for me where it runs and it prints that exact same piece that I did here. All right, whereas here, I don't have a plus here in this interface. I have to use this play thing from up here, or I can run the whole kernel if I want to that way. All right, so all 3 readings can be accessed from our GitHub, and this is a walkthrough of the different environments. Good luck, guys. Please reach out with questions early.